Alright people, this is going to be the first video out of two here on doing character design and putting it into a digital format. You can see here this is my sketch, my prelim, what I'm going to do with my graphics using pxlr or pxlr. So first step is getting the drawing, taking a photo of it, and then bringing it in pxlr and then doing the inking, going over the line work. You're going to use thick lines to show depth and form, where the shadows should be, and thin lines for details. So enjoy and listen for that wonderful transition. Alright, what we have here is we have pxlr and I am going to bring in my JPG.jpg image of what I'm going to draw. I'm going to use that as scaffolding. So I'm going into my computer right here. I'm finding it, clicking on it, and importing it in. It's going to ask for dimensions. You want HD. You go and you rotate canvas through the image. And now you're going to go inking. Now there's different ways you can ink. You got the pen tool and you got the brush tool. So the first thing I'm going to do is the pen tool, and I'm going to create a layer. So I got a new layer, so you're not drawing on the background. Notice the layers on the right. I have my new layer, and I am not drawing on the background. I'm going to get my black, get my colors adjusted, and I have different tools up there in the corner, so I can start checking the width, moving it around. So I have thick lines. You want like thick lines where shadows should be like underneath the nose, maybe on the side of the nose where it's more dominant, above the eyelid, above the eye. You want thick and thin lines to help show depth and form. I change them from time to time. You're going to want to figure out something, and I normally recommend going in gauges of 5. So your thinnest line you probably would want at a 5 or a 1, then thicker line go up 10, maybe 15, depending on what you want to do. So you can see here I put catch lights in the eye. I'm darkening stuff in. I'm using the pen tool. That's what's highlighted. Up in the corner it has different options, which I'll go over. This is just the plain option or the ink option. And I'm just going over the line work slowly but surely, zooming in. If you look at the top right hand corner, you'll see the little red box, the square. It'll give you the position that you're in on the drawing. And I'm just filling it in. You can use the paint bucket if you got everything closed up to color large amounts of area at once if you need to. So I'm going to change it, try something else out. There's one called crayon, so I'm going to draw the other side in crayon to give you kind of a look on different options that you can have. You can choose as the artist what you would like to do. Crayon has a little bit more texture to it, but I'm doing the same principles. I'm getting those dark lines where I want them, thinner lines where I want them, to help show shadow and form. You can see here, like especially on the outside of the face, when you go to the outside, you definitely want thick and thin lines or a thicker line. It helps frame everything in the face and make it more aesthetically pleasing. Especially if you're using thick and thin lines on the outside, showing shadow, showing light. It helps bring the whole drawing later on all together when you accentuate that through color. So I'm going to change it up. I have another filter here. This one I didn't like. It lightened up, which I liked, but it tended to want to fill in spaces. And then I clicked on something, but I don't know what that was. But you can still use it. Like any tools with practice, you can use them to efficiency. It's going to take some trial and error. You can see on the side of the lip here, kind of widened out a little bit. So you had to go in small sections. I can't. It was one of the filters. I don't remember which one it was per se right now. My apologies. And then you can go to the brush. The brush is has its own uniqueness to it. You have different brushes that you can use, different tips, like the square tip. Um, it's a little bit more pixelated than I would have liked, but you can use it. The round tip is a lot better. And you know, if you watched my previous video on this, you can adjust the slant, you can adjust the circle, you can adjust basically the tip of the brush any which way that you want. So here I'm choosing another brush. You can see I got thin lines going on the inside of the ear. And then I'll probably do a thicker line going on the outside. See, I'm adjusting the size. It gives you a little indicator of how wide it's going to be. And you just want to change up your line work. You don't want everything the same width on line work because it makes for a very visual, confusing illustration and boring illustration. If you have everything the same width, the viewer is going to have trouble seeing the differences and the nuances in the drawing. You want line variety. It makes the drawing more compelling. I hope this was helpful and enjoy. Good luck.